Welcome to Morning Moments. Thank you for coming with us today, whatever platform you're using. And I have a return guest. What a delight he was the first interview. If you have not seen that interview, please go to YouTube and look at that interview. It'll give you the basis of some of the things we're talking about today. He's an author, a speaker, a great brother in the Lord, JT Jester. Welcome from Michigan.
Thank you so much for having me, Andy. I'm very excited to be back and to share a little bit of what's going on.
Tell me, since we talked last, I usually ask, what do you do and why do you do it? But I'm going to ask, what are you doing now and why do you do it?
Yeah. So last time I was on, we got to speak a little bit about my new book, No Bad Days. And No Bad Days is still going strong and has been a fun venture. And it's a book about overcoming hardships and how those bad days, how there's no bad days, but there are hard days, but we get through them, and how the good Lord helps us through them, and how the people around us, our tribe of people, motivate us and push us to get through those challenging moments in life that we all face. And so No Bad Days is still a big focus of what I'm doing and sharing the word of many of these people's stories and my own story of overcoming adversity and those challenges with the medical side that we had spoke about last time. And for your listeners, with those medical challenges, for me was having, being born with something called vectoral syndrome. And it's a birth defect that affects your GI system, your spinal cord, and can have other circumstances too, such as heart problems, limb deformities, and so on and so forth. But for me, I've been very blessed. I've been blessed with a few of these issues, but having about 16 operations to repair my GI system as well as my spinal cord. And I've been very blessed with amazing doctors, amazing caretakers in my life, and have been able to live a very healthy life and a very strong life. And the good Lord has given me that ability and has been a huge blessing in my life. But with that, some exciting news that, with this project of No Bad Days came about, I started a foundation several years back, and then the book came out. And the book, honestly, it goes right along with the foundation and what it believes. And so my foundation is the JT Mestdagh Foundation, and what we do is we put together funds to help children with similar medical challenges as myself, and to allow them to get medical supplies. The medical supplies I use on a day-to-day basis, they are not covered by insurance because they're seen as a feeding tube application or different things that are not what I'm using them for every day. I'm using them for irrigation of my bowels, and with that, just to give a little background, I have no motility through that lower system. And so I have to flush out my lower GI system and to go to the bathroom. And in layman's terms, just go to the bathroom. But with that, the foundation is there to support these families and these kids, and to really try to help out financially with these supplies. And then the other side of it is the education. I've struggled with dyslexia and my whole life, and it's been a huge challenge for me, but a great one that I've learned a ton from. And with that, I wanted to be able to give back to that area as well. So there's one program that has really specifically helped me and helped many thousands of students. And so that is a program that we help out with tutoring and stuff as well. And then on the last front, on all three of the fronts, we have the medical, the education, and then we also, a very near and dear to my heart is the faith side of things. And so the foundation has been able to donate to some different organizations, such as Young Life, which is a national organization for high schoolers and middle schoolers, and to introduce them to the Lord and to just put them with, the way I look at it is just a fun group of people that want to enjoy and be with each other and support each other, and be there and honor God as well. And so that is the foundation. And so right now, one of my biggest focuses is the foundation, and going into this month and the month of September and October, we have some different events going on to raise money for the foundation. And so one of the big ones right now is this morning I was up and went paddle boarding. We did about 6 miles today of paddle boarding. And this past weekend, we did about 10 miles on Sunday. And so we've just been training as hard as we can right now, because we're doing this event that we have created, me and some friends, and it's 62 miles of paddle boarding. And so we'll be going from here in the Detroit area, which is home. We'll be going from Port Huron down the river into Lake St. Clair, and then through Lake St. Clair to the Detroit River. And we'll be ending at a place called Belle Isle. And so there's a bridge up in Port Huron, Michigan, called the Blue Water Bridge. And it's one of the access points from United States to Canada. And so we'll be starting right north of the bridge and heading down. And then we'll be ending at Belle Isle, which is just before the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Detroit to Canada as well. So we're calling it sort of bridge to bridge, and it's 62 miles, and we're hopeful to raise $62,000 to go towards the foundation. And it's been a fun journey training for it and getting people involved and sponsors as well.
You know, some of you are watching this, and you if you're in the Detroit area, go check that out. Even if you're not in the Detroit area and you want to send funds to it, please go to the foundation and check it out. But some of you are going to watch this and it's already passed. I mean, you may have watched it 6 months from now and you think, oh, I missed that event. That's okay. Go to the foundation, and they're always going to be able to take that funds for you for the foundation. You know, when you were talking about the medical side, let me just make a plea and a note for you. 17 years of my nursing experience, I worked in managed care. And so we worked with a lot of people submitting claims and denials and all of that. And when you use a source that is not what it's medically necessary for, the insurance company denies it because of medical necessity. Doesn't mean you don't need it. It just says that it's not medically necessary. So insurance companies doesn't pay for it. So there are a lot of hidden things that's not paid for. And for families who are having children and others who are with these supplies, these bills just keep adding up. This kind of foundation is really, really needed, folks, so that areas that's not paid for can get some supplement. And I'm always thrilled to hear about people with foundations on the medical side to be able to touch and meet those needs, some of those needs, because the expenses are horrendous when it comes to chronic issues.
Yeah. Well, it's been a really fun journey, just being able to hear the stories of the individuals that we've been able to touch, and it's been really just fun to see the success of what we're doing, and the partnership with the different organizations that we're doing it with, and it's been a blast.
Now, I'm going to be editing also, hopefully within this interview, down below some websites where you could find the foundation, but also on Facebook and YouTube. Underneath it, I'm going to be able to put some of those links. He's going to send those links to me, and so that we could do that. Please follow through, look at those links, and look at the foundation and say, and ask God, is this something I need to participate with? Is this something? And pray, be prayerful about it, and then take actions and send him some funding. No funding is too small, no funding is too large. Send some funding for him for this foundation. He's dedicated his life to share the gospel of Christ, but also to meet people's needs where they're at.
Yes, well, thank you. But I also want to say, you know, you mentioned about how if the event's over and stuff as well, and what that means. Sorry.
It's
So
okay.
what that means for the, you know, looking at the future here with the foundation, we have lots of fun events coming up, and we have lots of cool things that you can follow along. So just watching and seeing what events we're doing. We're doing a climb here coming up as well, which is called Rim to Rim, going from one side of the Grand Canyon down to the other side. And all these are just fun ways to get in the outdoors and to get others involved in the foundation too. And so you can always check it out at jtjester.com, and that will link you to pretty much everything, as well as the social media side, which was JT Jester Speaks on all platforms, but Instagram and Facebook are the strongest for sure to follow along.
JT, it's been my pleasure to have you come back on so that we could promote your foundation, so people can hear what's going on, continuously going on. Please go to his foundation, his site, check out his books, check out his products. What a blessing that he's been, and watch the other interview that we've done, and keep attached to JT and what he's doing. More important than that, I'd like for you to take a moment right now after this interview is over and pray that God would just bless him, continue to give him strength, favor, and that God would bless his ministry and his foundation as he reaches people, not only for the Lord, but also for medical and educational purposes as well. Thank you, JT, for being on Morning Moments again.
Thank you so much, Andy, for having me and for doing what you do and sharing people's stories and how much that impacts the world. It's so cool. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, JT. And thank you for coming back for more Morning Moments. And if you would, please keep coming back.